Okay, Darlene.
I had a real stressful week, and I took the Dream Serene that night because I got up and took it because I didn't take it 30 minutes before I went to bed like I should have. Got up and took it. About 30 minutes later, I finally got to sleep. And the next morning, I didn't need to be up early, but I overslept 9 hours with Dream Serene without, usually I'm about 6 hours, 7 hours, and I'm back up, but this was wonderful.
Okay.
And I wanted to try the new product, and this is great.
Thank
Really
you
great.
for that story. All right, 9 hours. That's a good night's rest for sure. Lydia, thank you for joining us from your car trip. So, Lydia, I know
Yes.
you have I heard that you have a brand new member you've introduced to Shackley, and you can either tell us what product you introduced her to, or there's another one. Just it's your turn to talk.
Well, thank you. First, I want to just thank everybody for sharing their stories. It's so much fun to be able to listen to everybody's. I really enjoyed that. But yes, my oldest sister, Sarah, I am one out of, how many sisters are there? 4. And then one brother. So we have a big family. But my oldest sister, Sarah, is married and she has 2 kids. She's got a little girl that's 3 years old and then a little boy that's about to turn 1. And I was doing that assessment, a Meology assessment challenge, I guess you'd say, with Miss Lee. And so I decided to send a message to my family and let them know, hey, I'm doing this little competition. Would you guys mind taking this quiz for me? And Sarah ended up taking the Meology Kids. So she just said to me, hey, could you send me some more information about the Meology Kids? Kendra, which is my niece that's 3 years old, is about to run out of vitamins, and I would like to replace it with these gummies. I think they would be better for her. And I was like, sure, that's great. I'm so excited about that. And she's also a member. So yeah, that's my story. And I'm looking forward to hearing what she says about the Meology gummies for kids, because I don't have anybody using those right now. So it'd be good to get feedback from her for future use. So yeah,
That's very good. I'm glad. I didn't know what the product was. So today we were introduced to the new jellies that are now available, on open order. So, and they kept talking about that it could be for adults too. So I thought,
good.
Well, I think of a few people that I might offer that to if they don't want to be swallowing a capsule. So,
yes.
So I'm just going to tell a real brief story, and then, and so we'll end with a story that when I was first introduced to Shackley, when I walk outside, my eyes would water, and it never occurred to me that that wasn't normal. And I remember a month or 2 later thinking, when I walk out, I'm not real sensitive to the bright sunlight and my eyes aren't watering. And I thought about that today. I really hadn't thought about it in probably 40 years. And I thought, now, why in the world? I know I wasn't using what we think of generally for allergies. I'm pretty sure I wasn't using alfalfa. I believe it was some very basic, just our multivitamin and a soy protein. And I thought, that's interesting that just those very basic products that Dr. Shackley introduced made a difference so many years ago on someone that really was healthy. I didn't even know that wasn't normal, because it wasn't causing a problem. It just happened when I went out. And so that would be a very early on story. And then the other that I like to share with people sometimes is, after I had 2 children, I started having a lot of migraines, and they give you heavy prescriptions, and that really did bother me a lot. So when I was introduced to Shackley, when probably 4 or 5 years after I started having those migraines, I learned from Barbara Lagoni and probably some others that if you would, just as the very first sign of a migraine, which is usually it is a visual disturbance where you can only see just a little bit, that it was suggested, why didn't I have an extra B complex and maybe a couple of extra calcium mineral supplements and just see what might happen. And it worked. I was able to not have the prescription anymore. And over, I would say that was at least 35 years ago. And sometimes I do have a migraine. And what I learned is it doesn't come during stress, it comes after stress. I thought that was interesting. But over the years, if you were to open my purse, you would see a little pill container. And I always have B complex and calcium supplement in there, or osteomatrix now, because that's my go-to. I've never had the migraine develop after the 20-minute period that your vision is somewhat altered. It's never developed into the headache since I learned to do that. So I've been known to pull over on the side of the road and have some water and take some B complex and osteomatrix because I didn't want a headache.